All right, so this is the weekly ASIN report that typically gets sent out to me every single Monday of every week. Again, hat tip to Matt Howitt and the Profound team for figuring this whole thing out and then teaching my team how to do it. It's a really good process. So this is kind of a companion piece to the daily month-to-date report that gets emailed. So that one's really good just for seeing kind of intra-month how we're looking across all of the portfolios and all the brands versus the previous year. This one goes into an additional layer of detail, which is why we only run this weekly, which really looks at the SKU level. And not only for the month-to-date data, but the week-over-week data, which is much more incremental, so we can kind of spot gaps at the ASIN level, as well as how things are looking versus that same week previous year, both at the portfolio for the brand as well as for each individual ASIN. So each brand gets one of these reports and is kind of consolidated for each particular brand. So in terms of what it looks like, I basically get an email from Paulo, describes what brands are included. Then I can click on this report here. And then this is basically going to be the brand level, and then each individual SKU I can scroll down and see how that performance looks across sales, units, sessions, average sales price conversion, average daily sales, average daily units, and then the ad spend in tacos. Again, current week, the previous week this year, and then the same week last year. So it's a really good kind of metric across incremental growth blocks. So in terms of updates on this thing, it's basically all going to happen on the data tab. And so you can kind of see, instead of the day like the other daily ones are, there's actually a week here, and you can see the number of the week. There's a really cool little tab here that shows what week it is. So basically, if I'm going to run this report for this week, it is September 28th. So I would come down here, and I would have run this to be ready yesterday. So it would have been 9/21 to 9/7. It's week 39. So basically for this data, I would basically come in here to this week 39, and I would put this in here. So what I basically do from here is you go over to Seller Central, basically going to run 9/20 to 9/26. I would come in here to business reports, detailed page and traffic by item, and then I would do the 9/20 to 9/26 here. Download that for 2021, and then I do the exact same thing for 2020 so we could get the year over year data. And then you basically just copy that into here. Everything else is going to kind of run its thing, and then there'll be this summary here where you can just see that down row by row, which gets emailed to me weekly. So that's the weekly. Again, we're going to try to automate this. So I'll try to create this template here in the coming months so that if you want to run this on your own, you've got all the kind of formulas and everything in place. But we'll see if we can't get this automated to where we can just kind of drop some reports in, and then there's some math done behind the scenes. So hopefully this will get better and better over time. But this view, this snapshot is fantastic to look at as a leader of your brands on a weekly basis.